Hey everyone and welcome back to channel. Today we are going to build something incredible, cool and practically using Python. Have you ever want to check the weather right from your computer terminal? Hmm. Well, you are lucky. In this video, we are going to break down this powerful command line weather dashboard. It is automatically detect your location, give you the current weather with the detail like humidity and wind speed, and it is provide a fully 5-day forecasting. Plus you can type in your any city in the word to check whether there is two. Okay, ready to see how the it's done? Let's diving into code. Okay, Hol- here the code we are walk through, we are setting like the few steps. So we are going to break down into four main part for this code. The first step is the setup, then next one is the getting the location we are fetching from the weather, and finally we are displaying the beautiful command line. So these four things we are going to see this video. So first we are importing few modules like the JSON. It's needed, so it's for a request module we are needed for this JSON, so that's the reason we are importing this JSON module. And request module, this module handle the HTTP request. We are using some APIs, so that API we need to get this module to uh, get the data. So the date module we are rectifying the date formatting. That's the reason we are importing these modules. So now we are going to the configuration module. So the first we need to talk weather API service. So we are using like OpenWeatherMap API, which is the fantastic and has a great free trial to use. You need to an API key. So now it's a big mistake. Maybe developer make it hard coding the secret key. So now we are not hard coding this script like not in hard coder. So we are storing this key like the config file. So we are storing like config.json file. That file contain this open weather API key. So this key how will get means you can directly open weather API website, and you can just register your mail ID with the basic details. And based on the above menu you have the one option like API. You just click and you can able to get the key. Then you can directly configure with this key in this configuration file, or you can directly code with your own code. But most often you need to avoid for direct hard coding this value. The secure way, you need to give it some config file, then you can fetch the key from this config file. So why we are using this try catch exception? Maybe the file is not found exception will happen, and that's the reason we are using this file handling exception block we are written here for this configuration module. So next is the our finding our location. So this function will make a quick call to survey call like IP info IO. It is the free IP geolocation service API. So that look like your IP address will be written along with a few information also will return, like we can able to get the city of the your location. So based on this API call, it will be written your city also. So from the city we are getting from the current location of your city. So this is the HTTP request API call. So the exception also will happen. So we are catching up the exception. We are using this try catch exception block also. So next module is weather data module. So here we are using the two API. One is the weather API, another is the forecasting API. So this these are the same for two things because it's a common for module. So this is called like a domain name. So domain name after they given some path, these are considered like path only. This weather and forecasting, it's a endpoint name. So here we need few parameter also, like your API ID and the metrics of the units and also the city. So these are parameter you given, then only the weather API will accurately correct predicting your weather also. So based on that I will making the two calls. So one is the weather call and there's a forecasting call. So first I will fetch the current weather call. So I creating one variable and the request function to get method, it's a get API only. So based on your API key we are getting from the config.file. So we are already we know this file, and already we know the city and unit is matrix only, so the using for the Celsius purpose we are using. So this input also we know. So this is the URL, then it's a parameter we are passing, then we are getting the response and we are storing like this variable. Like after we are storing and we are formatting like the JSON and we are returning for this method. So in similar way we are predicting for the 5 days forecasting, right? We are calling the same way we have calling for one more API like forecasting API also. So this API also calling for the same functionality, but it's written the 5 days of data. It's in JSON format. So this is for networking call like API call, HTTP call. So it may happen for the exception, so we are putting always in the try exception block to handling the exceptions. So now we are going to the another module like UI and display module. So this module, so just we are looking like the display purpose we are using. So we already know data, like we already know the entire data of what the city we are given. So that city we are returning the data. So from the data itself we are getting the current location and where is the main weather details and description of the weather and temperature of the weathers and feel like humidity and wind speeds. So these kind of the inputs we are gathering from this API only. Like the API data will return the JSON of the mapping, so that mapping we are getting this much data. So once we are getting, we are storing and we are formatting purpose, we are displaying printing like this way. So this way it's better printing for our dashboard, like the command line we are printing nicely, so we are using this way. So this function mainly we are using like the 3 hours of the daily and minimum forecasting. That's the purpose we are using for this method to predicting for this last 3 hours of minimum and maximum of the forecasting weather what will happen from returning from this data of the response. So in similar way we are getting the response from the 5-day forecasting also, that also we are getting from this data only. So initially I told like the this date function we are using like date formatting. So we here also we are date formatting because JSON response always written like string format, but we are converting into date format. So that's the reason we are importing this module also, and we are printing the output also. So now it's going for the final module. This is the main module we are calling from module. Initially we are getting like I'm explaining each block of code. Now it's how the function will be work. So initially we are calling like the API key only, right? So they load API key only, so the first function will call, then we are returning the API key from the config.json file to here. So if you found the API key, then only this program will execute, right? So next we need to identify which location you are based on the second API call, like the IP API, this API IP info.io JSON. This API will return your current IP location with the city. So based on the API, you can able to get your city. So next, this will be written like a default your current city. So if it is needed, you can just click on enter and go with the current city. But you don't want to check your current city whether it's you need to check some other weather, means you can directly go with enter a city name directly. Then you can able to see that weather also. So based on the input we are passing to this weather data and also daily report, these two function. Sorry, weather data we are first calling like getting the all the weathers based on the API key, we are getting these details, and then we are calling the display function weather data and to check which city we are checking. So in case you are entering city is invalid for this open weather API, means it will be good not determine this API. So this way we are going to, now we are checking like this output of this program. Okay, now I will execute. So now I click on enter, so it will be default consider like default city. So it will be for the Chennai report we are given like this. Now I will enter other city. So now I get like a different city of this weather. So this way we can able to predict the weather APIs. So it is very easy, simple by we are using the APIs. So You can also easily expand this project. Maybe you can add on the switch between the Celsius to Fahrenheit, or using the different emoji or different weather condition. It will be found this helpful. Please hit the like button, subscribe for more Python project, and let me know these comments what city you checked the weather for. Thank you for watching. Happy coding, and I will see you in the next one.